2 minutes. Okay, as part of remember when you signed up for the masterclass, you were told that you were going to have in-class sessions and then later you're going to do attachment with companies out there, right? Okay. So your attachment outside is for 6 months, and within that 6 months, we're going to expect you're going to have a monthly project, like an assignment that you're going to work on and send back to us. These 6 projects are 6 of the major things you need to know as a facility manager, and it's based on what we have taught you. It's going to help you to find your feet in on the field out there. So I'm going to take you step by step, what it's about, what we expect from you, and then each one comes with its own templates. So it's something that it shouldn't be too much of a challenge. So let's get into it. Every month we're going to send you one topic, normally at the first week of every month. So let's say you start by January. First week of January, we're going to send you the topic you're going to be working on, and we expect to have it back by the 15th of the next month. Between now and then. I just have faith, and between now and then. All right, we'll send you an email, and here is the format of what we expect. For your first month, you're going to do asset register. Remember I said something that when I get to a facility, look at January, look at February. I always say that when I get to a facility, what's the first thing I do?
The history.
Good. Asset register, the history. What do we have here? What has been happening here? So that's what you are going to see January, February. January asset register. What are the machines, equipment? What am I responsible for in this facility? February, facility condition assessment. What is the state? This is what we have. What is the state of what we have? What do we need to do to improve the facility? Your third month is health and safety audits. Fourth month, emergency preparedness, EPBC. Fifth month is preventive maintenance plan. And your 6th month is budgeting and reporting. It may not be, it's going to depend on when you start. So it doesn't have to be strictly be January, February. You may start March, you may start February or whatever. So let me show you what it involves. The first one, asset register. You're just going to fill in this. This is the template we expect to see from you. The name of the site, the building name. For instance, yes.
Are we preparing this or this template that the Max-Migold has already?
This is the template that we're going to give you. So you're going to fill it in. Fill it in. You just export this to Excel. Fill it in. So a site name, for instance, let's say your company is your name. Charles, okay, so let's say the name of the company, where the post is Charles Management, Charles Facility Management. So you put Charles Facility Management. The building, you can put block 1. Some offices have just one building, some offices are across 4 different buildings. Block 1, block 2, block 3, floor, first floor, second floor, so and so, space. The MD's office, the receptionist, whatever. Asset name, generator, air conditioner, description, so and so, maybe 1.5 kVA, so 10 kVA, 1000 and so on. The serial number, normally the company would have done their own asset register before you. Don't just take what they have given you and export it back to us, because some things may have changed. So you can get the serial number from them. If they've already done it, no, you can give your own serial number, internal reference number, manufacturer, Samsung, Infinix, LG, and so on and so forth. Warranty, does it have warranty or not? Is it still applicable? In service, yes. Is it functional? When was it bought? How much was it bought? When was it installed? Commissioned? When are we planning to replace it? Now, when they bought the equipment, the manufacturer says dispose of it after 5 years. And you're showing you that they commissioned it 2 years back. So you know that 3 years time, you should start planning for replace date. That's 3 years time going to be the replace date. Replacement cost, disposal date. Sometimes, even when, you know us in this environment, even when they say dispose of something after 5 years, as long as it's still working, nobody wants to dispose of it. So that's why you capture the actual disposal date may not be the replacement date as recommended maintenance strategy. Now, I always have an issue with students within maintenance strategy. They never seem to get it right. I don't know what is the problem. Maintenance strategy is not cleaning every day. I've seen people write maintenance strategy, they'll say clean every day, whatever. Maintenance strategy is like planned maintenance, predictive maintenance, preventive maintenance, routine, whatever kind of maintenance is going on. That's what you should put there. Okay, not to be telling me clean every day, mop every day. Those are not maintenance strategies. So this is what we expect for you from your asset register assignment. Asset register is very straightforward. I think it's one of the easiest things they're probably going to end up doing. Now, please, that's what I'm saying. I wish the class was full because I will say the same thing and they will still go and do, you understand? I don't want to be seeing chairs and table. I'll mark that as asset register assignment. And all they were putting there was chairs and table. You can't tell me that in a whole office all they have is chairs and table. That's a very lazy asset. That's very lazy. I nearly gave that person 0. That's very lazy. Okay? Do you get what I'm trying to say? You can't enter this room and be telling me count because you just counted all the chairs and table and told me that's asset register. No. There'll be this, there'll be that, there'll be this, there'll be air conditioners. So please let's put some effort. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Please put some effort into it. All right, so that's for asset register. This just explains to you what I just told you verbally. This is all you have there. This just details the site name, the name of the location, the building name. You can even see the examples there. Max-Migold Limited building, common area, MB's office, air conditioner, man track, yes, amount 350,000. Everything has already been explained for you. So we'll send this to you at the first week of the month. If you have any questions, please get back to us. And if you are stuck anywhere, please get back to us and let us know. Facility condition assessment. It's going to come a bit different from your asset register because there's going to be some written portion and there's going to be a template portion. So I'm going to do executive. Okay, let me read through. What is your facility condition assessment, the FCA? It's just an industry term that describes the process by which trained professionals. Let me break down. I'm just going to use very simple English. It's just the process by which you perform an analysis of the condition of the facility. They're going to look at the age, design, materials. It's just one step above the asset register. The asset register just captures what is there. This is one step above. What is the condition of what is there? What do we need to do? That's just the long and short of your facility condition assessment. Okay, we want to diagnose and understand the health condition of the building and the equipment, the systems that are there. Visually identify major defects and deficiencies. This is working, this is not working. You're going to snap pictures and send to us. Structural systems, building exterior, the roof. You're going to enter everywhere. You're going to go to the roof, go everywhere. Treatment plan, snap as many pictures as you can and send to us. Anything you notice, snap, and it's going to go inside your report. So you're going to have it's probably going to be a Word document. Then you can now do whatever. As I go along, I'll show you the aspect that's going to be Excel. You can export it or import it or whatever into your Word document. So you're going to have an executive you're going to have your cover page. You know how it is when you submitted your project in university. I think that's the best example. Your cover page, your name, so and so, prepared by so and so, the picture of the building from the approach, and put it there just to make it look interesting, the date it was done. Executive summary, just very brief. I don't expect to see more than 2 paragraphs. This is a facility condition assessment that was done on so and so and so. To find out so and so. That's all, just 2 paragraphs. Introduction, general description. That can take like half a page, just a bit longer than your executive summary. The description of the location is Charles and Company facility located in Ikeja, is on 4 floors. The building is so. The building, they're into so and so business. This is what they do. Just give us a brief so that we know what the company is about. How many stories, size of the building. And we don't expect you to go and measure. But if they have that information, you can get it from them and include. Nothing wrong with that. Then you're now going to your assessment proper. Details of what you found. So look at that table there. You're going to rate everything you see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 means excellent, almost brand new. In fact, practically brand new. No defects, near new condition. In fact, most likely it's still under warranty because probably they just bought it a month or 2 months or 6 months earlier. 2, good condition, but no longer brand new. It may have some little maybe paint scratched off or little, but it's functioning very well. It's functioning well. 3, adequate. It's already looking a bit ramshackle, but it's working. It's still within its useful lifespan. So you can see that gradually you are differentiating. 4, marginal is showing major sign of wear and tear. It can break down anytime. Then 5, poor is damaged, is not working. It's no longer functioning. Due for replacement. Yeah, due for replacement. So this is how they are going to differentiate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for us in the table. You are going to have your picture gallery. Snap as many pictures. Remedial works. What you're going to record when it's not enough to just say something is not functional. What do you advise? Should they replace it? Can they repair it? Okay, that's what we expect to hear from you. Cost estimates, how much it's going to cost to replace. You can get that information from it depends on how big the company is. You can get that information from the accounts department or the procurement unit. People in the procurement can give you that information. Then you're going to calculate your facility condition index. When you did people who have done facility condition assessment now. So that calculation is there, the formula is there. So please refer to that. I want to see that calculation. If I don't see that calculation, I'll mark you down. No, I'm serious. Unless, I don't know, maybe that's you're still going to mark it.
For each of the assets.
No. If you check the formula, you understand. It's a total now. It's a total.
Your FCI, it has to do with your maintenance, your PPM now. So the amount of deferred maintenance with the total cost of replacing the
entire thing, yes, it's a formula. It's not one by one. You're going to sum everything. Okay, the calculation is there. Please refer to that. Please, I always watch out for that calculation. It doesn't have to be exact, but at least make an attempt. That's what I just want to see, an attempt. Okay, then you conclude.
All these replacement values, I will admit to get the cost from there.
You can refer to the procurement. If they don't have, you can go online and find. Go to online websites. For instance, you can go to Jumia. How much does this thing cost today? You can use that. I'm okay with it. It doesn't have to. I'm not going to go to the market and start checking how much those things are. Okay. So this is a sample now. Can you see? This is a sample. Can see for the roof area. Retaining walls, the windows, the balconies, so on and so forth. The condition, defects, repair scope, cost. What do you advise and what's it going to cost? So instead of we've done everything for you, all you just need is just to fill in the information. This is the template. This is what you're going to use. After you've done your Word document, the written area, you now do this and then import it into the document. In fact, this document is Word. You can actually do it here, but you will have challenge with the calculation. That's why I usually advise that you use Excel, because Excel, you can add in Excel. It's easier to add in Excel. So maybe you can just stick to this and use your calculator if you are sure of yourself. Interior walls, conveyance, the elevators, the lifts, and so on and so forth. You see your plumbing, mechanical systems, power systems, electrical installations, IT, fire equipment, security, and so on. You do that, do your calculation of the facility condition index, you now conclude the facility is generally well kept. They just need to repair a few things. The facility is in very poor condition. So you conclude and let us know. After that, your next project is going to be HSC, health and safety. Now, this is health and safety is very important. Like I always say, I don't play with safety. The presentation is going to be it's going to be similar. Okay, no, it's going to be similar to emergency preparedness. That's after this. So let me just take you through this now. Safety is very important, of course. Protect life, protect property. All right. So we want to ensure that the organization the company where you are is doing what it needs to do to safeguard people, to ensure that there's no harm to its staff. Okay, so what do you want to do? You want to, it involves creating organized efforts, procedures for identifying hazard. Identifying hazards. You are going to do an audit, just the same way as you did your facility condition assessment. In fact, I would advise that as you are doing your facility condition assessment, also be watching out for safety. It's going to save you a lot of, it's going to save you double work. So, what are the hazards? How can we reduce accidents? You can even check the history and say, have you been having a recurring problem with this thing? You can include it in your report. Okay, preparing health and safety audits. Okay, so this is what we expect. The same thing, cover page, pictures, executive summary, just the same way I explained to you. Introduction, description, what's the purpose of the audits? What are the objectives? We want to safeguard lives. Refer to the slide for health and safety. It's a topic on its own. Somebody took you that class. Refer, it can give you a lot of tips on what to write. The scope of your audits. I audited 2 buildings, I audited 3 buildings, I audited the entire estate or whatever. The methodology, you're going to walk around. Okay. Now we have 3 that we suggest. You're going to conduct you're going to interview people in the company. Are you having any issues? Have you observed anything? Any unsafe practices? If there's a safety officer, try and be friendly with the person because so they don't feel threatened. That's, seriously, I've gotten feedback from a lot of students, and sometimes they have little challenges with this. From day one, start being friendly. The people from day one, start being friendly with the safety officer. Let him know that you're not there to threaten his job. This is where he's going to help you when he trusts you. All right, so you're going to interview people, carry audit. You're going to walk around. You can't do this from your desk. You're going to walk around, and then observations. By now, you've been there for 3 months, so you yourself have started observing how they do things in the company. Your audit findings, state all your findings and the risk. Picture gallery, very important. I like pictures a lot. Recommendations, then conclusions. So let's look at the table. So we have a questionnaire that's going to help you. Let's look at it, and then you're going to determine the risk level of every hazard. So let's look at it so you understand what I'm trying to say. So you see this table. We have at the management level. These are the questions. These are the things I'm going to ask and answer. Does the company have HSE policy in place? Is it displayed? Yes or no? Your remarks. It is displayed, but people don't have access to it. It is displayed, but people don't know it's there. What is the risk level? Is it high risk, low risk, and so on and so forth? I think that risk matrix is further down. Let me show you that so that you understand. Don't get confused. Okay, this is the risk matrix now. You can see risk. There are different levels of risk. I will explain as we go along. I just want you to see it so that you understand that I'm still going to explain it later. Your risk level will now come in. Is there accident report book? Do they conduct HSE inductions for people that are coming in newly? These are questions you need to ask. Housekeeping, is the place clean? They leave things lying around. When oil spills on the floor, water, do they clean it or they leave it there? Are there naked cables around? So many things, right? So many things, so many things. So many things going on. Chemicals, how do they handle chemicals? Fumigation, how do they handle it? So many things. Even there are some things that you may even notice that may probably are not here. You can add them. Although we've tried to cover everything you will see in a modern office. Security audit. Vehicle movement. Hey, is there a register for vehicle movement? Can anybody just pick a vehicle and drive out of the compound? At the gate, can anybody just walk in? Are there cameras? Smoke alarm? Are there fire extinguishers? Are they being serviced regularly? When last were they serviced? All those things need to be you need to check and answer. Yes, sorry.
I want to get the date of the last date of service.
Yeah?
I have to get it from the HSC.
It should be written there. Normally they write it on the fire extinguisher. You see it on the fire extinguisher. Okay. Do they even have a safety policy? That's the first one I mentioned. Do they have a safety policy in the first place? So I'm saying that if you are not friendly with the safety officer, you will be highly frustrated. Okay? Getting this information. Now, risk factors by likelihood. Let's say you are looking at the risk of electrical shock. The risk of electrical shock. You know, our table above has electrical shock, has different things. What is the likelihood? Very likely. It is expected to occur in most circumstances. Likely, it will probably occur. Possible, it may occur occasionally. Unlikely, it could happen is unlikely because we don't even have any nickel cables lying around. Highly unlikely, it may happen in exceptional circumstances. For instance, we don't even use electricity at all in that place, which I know is not possible. Anyway, consequence. What is the consequence? Fatality. Can somebody die? Of course, for electrical, yes. Major, severe injury. Things like climbing, when they are cleaning and high climbing, are they using safety harness or people are just climbing with their bare hands? Minor. Well, if injured and they can use just a minor thing, maybe they may not come to work for 1 or 2 days. First aid, you can just apply cotton wool and person is back to work. Negligible, they don't need any treatment. So different things, different levels of risk. Consequence of that thing happening. So, if this thing happens now, if a fatality happens, and it is very likely, you can see that, you can see we have purple here, right? So, you're going to say, for example, where's our electrical now? We have, okay, let's say hazardous substances. And let me use hazardous substances. Let's say, I want something immediate. Okay, let's say falling. Let's say falling. All work platforms have secure guardrails in place, and you now notice that they are working at heights without scaffold or anything. So you're going to say no. Those things are not in place, and your risk level is going to be what? Purple. The consequence is very high of fatality. So that place is going to be purple. Do you get where I'm going?
Yeah. Okay. Are we using color code for?
Yes. So again, we now have major injury, minor injury, first aid, negligible, and so on and so forth. Highly unlikely, possible, likely. So it's a thing of perception. The funny thing about this is that somebody else could look at it and feel the risk is not that high. But for me, most in safety, I prefer to err on the side of safety than, what I mean is that I prefer to be too careful and save life and say nothing will happen and somebody gets seriously hurt. All right, then we have another one here. We have prioritizing risk. when you do your color for me, when you do your color there, you're also going to put the number. You know how that works, right?
Like
You just see the number in the center. In the center. So you have your risk level extreme 1. So if anything that is purple, of course, one will be there. Now, what does this tell you? What this table is saying here is that in a situation where you need to intervene, you see somebody is doing something unsafe and the risk is extreme, very high that it could be a fatality. The action should stop immediately. The time frame for implementation of create immediately, not tomorrow, not next tomorrow. High. Implement short-term safety measures. Okay, you can say, okay, come down immediately and then give them whatever to wear. Or come down immediately and then within 24 hours, we're going to provide safety harness for them. Or within 24 hours, we're going to erect a proper scaffold or whatever, give them whatever they need. Medium. We can say, okay, let's use the next 14 days. What can go on? It depends on the kind of work. What can go on, but let's use the next 14 days to plan what they need and provide for them. Low, number 4. Long term, is the risk is not that much, and we can use 30 days to plan for it. So it's about when you, like I said, when you've been there for a while, you can now understand how their work culture is and how to understand some of this risk. Emergency preparedness looks very similar to HSE. It has a lot of it overlaps a lot of similarities. So the same thing you're going to do when you took your emergency preparedness class. Remember what you talked about? Planning for emergency. Emergency has happened. We are going to have to leave our location, move to, but it's going to disrupt our services. And it's going to take us some time to get back to our business, back to where it was before. So the tricky thing about emergency preparedness is that it has not yet happened. So you are projecting, you are imagining. Yes, if it happens, what do we need to do? So that's what it is about, okay? So it's very similar to your safety policy. You're going to have your outline. And you're going to conduct a risk assessment. I will explain to you. You're going to review a lot of hazards. Like I said, a lot of safety is going to come in here. Check, how can this affect us? How can this affect us? How can this affect us? You have your introduction. You have you're going to conduct a safety risk, a risk assessment. Let's start from there to identify potential emergency scenarios. Your HSC, you're going to get a lot of information. The report you submitted last month is going to help you a lot here. You have already identified a lot of things there. So you can say, okay, there's an emergency today, there's a bomb threat, this could happen, that could happen. We don't have any emergency, we don't have any fire extinguishers, for instance. Fire is the major problem for us. So if there's an emergency with fire, this is what could happen. What can we do? Your risk assessment, number 1. And your risk assessment should be in line with the organization's performance objectives. What do we mean by that? You cannot go and import risk that doesn't have anything to do with their business. For instance, I always like to give a very simple example. If I have a shop and I'm selling frozen foods, and he is selling children's storybooks, for me, immediate risk for me is what? Power failure. Let's imagine we're in the same building. Power failure is a major problem for me because I'm selling what? Frozen food and chicken. They need light. But for him, it's not really a problem. So you won't go and put a risk assessment of, you won't go and rank risk of power failure very high for him. It is not his major problem. That's what we're trying to say here. Your risk assessment is going to be based on the kind of business your company does. That is pretty straightforward to understand. Review hazards, threat scenarios, bomb, kidnapping, whatever, especially for those of you that may be doing your attachment with maybe some of these oil companies that sometimes can be a target for some of these people. Assess the availability and capability of resources for incident stabilization. Are there any emergency vehicles? If somebody collapses in premises, are there emergency vehicles to take people out? Is there a first aid box in the compound? Little things like that. Do they have the phone numbers of the police? Do they have the phone numbers of the emergency services? All those things are still further down. I'm just jumping ahead. Talk with public emergency services, the firefighters. Does anybody in the office know the number of the firefighters? Does anybody in the office know the fire of the police people? Does anybody know how many people are even in that building at a time? Does anybody know? These are little things that I'm sure if you refer back to your course content, you'll get some of them to give you more ideas. Okay, protective actions for life safety evacuation, hazard and threats procedures. Okay. Okay. Trained personnel. So like I said, you're going to be imagining. It hasn't happened. So you're going to just kind of project something. What I want to see is just that you made an effort. I want to see that you made an effort to put something together. So you have your risk assessment, business impact analysis, incident report, roles and responsibility. Please, I will explain. Don't be worried. You are going to have your cover page, the same as your HSC. Executive summary, introduction will be there. Scope. Note, example of requirements highlighted. Okay. There's this thing, there's this table I'm looking for. Where is that thing? I think it's in the outline. There's this, the outline, there's a particular table I'm looking for. I don't think it's here. I'm not seeing it here. Where you have, oh, okay, sorry. That's what I was looking for, sorry. Okay, so you see the risk management sheet now. Let me take something you can relate to it. Resource management. Where's the risk?
Can you please?
Okay. Okay. So let's take resource management. All the staff don't come to work. It just happens that on a particular day, 80% of the staff didn't come to work. So what's the likelihood? Yeah, it's not really likely, but let's say we say medium. What's the impact? The impact will be high. Because imagine 80% of the staff don't come to work. The impact is high. Priority is high. Preventive action, compliance to the good health safety procedures. I think in this aspect, we're assuming that something may have happened in the office that affected them that they couldn't come. Okay, ensuring shift practice. We can say, okay, to avoid such a problem, why don't we say some people should work on shift? Everybody doesn't need to come to the office at the same day. So that if there's a hazard that is released, it won't affect all the staff at once. We don't pay for it. But do you know where I'm going? Instead of saying all your 100 staff must come to work at once, maybe 50 can come today, 50 can come tomorrow or whatever, so that if on Monday a hazard was released, it won't affect all your 100 staff. Contingency plans, rotate the staff. Keep the source of agent contacts for immediate engagement. Alternative staff, contract staff, people that can fill in on short notice. For instance, let's imagine you are outsourcing your cleaning. Normally, you will have an agreement that at every point in time, I want to have 15 cleaners on the premises, but for some reason, maybe 2 or 3 cleaners cannot come to work, and it's going to have an effect. What you need to do, you've made an arrangement with the owner of the outsource company, the manager of the outsource company. Call him, have his contact. I didn't see 3 other people today. Can you quickly send me 3 people to come and fill in? So that's just a very simple example. Okay, so that's a simple example for you. We have different types. We have for generator, we have for ill health, sickness, we have for different things. Safety, we have for security threats. That's another one you can look at. Natural disaster, earthquake. What's the likelihood of an earthquake in Lagos? What's the likelihood of a tornado? What's the likelihood of a snowstorm? So yeah, so so you can see we put L there for low. Okay, criticality business. This is another part. criticality, business activity, facility management. Now, what you're going to do under this section is that the different departments. You have facility management, you have security, you have accounting, you have human resources, whatever. You put them there. Now, what is the responsibility? What does the facility manager do? Proper management of power, energy, blah, 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 and housekeeping and sanitation. What is their priority if there's an emergency? Very high. Impact of loss. What happens if the facility manager cannot do his job for some reason? Now, we have looked at the impact on, different things now. Look at the impact on we'll look at the risk now. Now we're looking at the direct impacts on specific business units. Now, FM, loss of business revenue due to downtime. The FM people didn't come, nobody to switch on the generator. The FM people didn't come, nobody to switch on the diesel. I mean, nobody to put diesel in the generator. Reduction in staff productivity. Yes, nobody can work because the office is hot, no air conditioner. Nobody can work. How long will it take before business it begins to really affect our business? So from as short as 1 day, within 1 day can start affecting our business to within 5 days. So you can project. So you can do that for security, you can do that for, you can say maybe for accounting, maybe human resource, maybe, well, the impact may not be felt immediately. So different departments, but we mentioned this because these are the 2 departments that you notice immediately if they don't function for whatever reason. Now, response, very important. Response, who responds when there's an emergency? Have you identified critical activities that have been disrupted? In your report, were you able to identify critical activities? Generator was disrupted, yes or no? What is the action that your report is proposing? What is the action that like I said, it hasn't happened yet. But imagine it has happened. What is the action? We have backup generator. You have to be creative. Contacted key stakeholders. Yes, we have contacted them. Understood and complied with any regulatory compliance requirements. Made available necessary payment for immediate commencement. What we mean by this is that we had an emergency and we have to maybe take everybody out of the office. So have you gone through all this? Have you contacted the key stakeholders? Have you called who needs to be informed? All this will show, all this will determine if your plan is balanced or not. If you can't answer these questions, then you need to go back and tweak your plan. Again, you need to go back, reflect your plan, okay? Proper stocking and purchasing of essential and critical items. This will also help you to know that at your alternative location, remember we have an alternative location, right? The place your staff is going to, if there's a problem, do they have laptops to work with? Do they have a generator there? Do they have security there? And so on. But like I said, it's a bit tricky because it has not happened yet. You just need to be creative when you're doing this. Roles and responsibilities. Who is responsible for what? The facility management, his name, what does he do? Call a muster point, raise the alarm, whatever, safety officer, whoever, and what they are supposed to do if there's an emergency. Put that there. Key contacts, key contact people, the people, their name, their email, their department, what are they supposed to do? You know what we said that doing emergency preparedness, I didn't take that class, but I know that's part of the outline. You are going to take people from every department. I don't know if they told you that. Somebody has to be represented, every department has to be represented. You know, there's a committee in charge of emergency, in charge of this. So every department has to be represented. Who is representing the HR department? Who is representing the security? Who will put their names there and their responsibilities? Are they to raise alarm? Are they to call people? Are they to provide fuel? Whatever they're supposed to do when there's an emergency, put it there. External contacts. All right. Who do you call? If the generator shuts down suddenly, the generator mechanic, he's not your staff, he works for somebody else. That's why we said external. So put their name there. So now the emergency has happened and we have handled it. We want to come back to our services. You understand? this is business continuity, right? The emergency is over, we want to come back. So what does the facility manager need to do? Ensure adequate stocking of diesel, timely service of generator, smooth running of operational activities, and so on. As we are coming back, what does the facility manager need to do to ensure that we can get back to where we were before this emergency happened? To restore us to our level of service. Please, are we following? Okay. You understand what I'm explaining? It looks like a lot, but when you are in the field, some of these things will come to you. Okay, it's looking very abstract, but I promise you when you are there, so many of them will come to you. Then we have project preventive plan, our PPM plan. At the beginning of it, normally, okay, you normally do this November, December in preparation for the next year. What it does is just what is the maintenance for this for the whole year? What is the maintenance for this for the whole year? What is the maintenance for this for the whole year? That's what your PPM is about. So it's going to be a chart. It's just a chart, okay? Just a chart. It is nothing. It's a spreadsheet. Can you see this? Site name, building name, floors, digital asset name. You'll get many of this information from your asset register. Maintenance strategy, maintenance activities, frequency. Every 2 months, every month. What's the cost? Are we doing it in-house or are they outsourcing it? For instance, servicing of generator. Who is responsible for it? You put the name there. Calendar, January, February, March, April. They're going to do January, they're going to do March. Every 3 months, so you count January, February, March, April, May, whatever. Just put it there step by step. On and on and on. For every major assets that you capture. You're not going to do this, of course, they're not going to start doing this for furniture. Major assets, generators, air conditioners, water treatment plants, things like that. All right. Then last is your budget. I would advise as much as possible, liaise with the people in the accounting department and the procurement. They will help you a lot. This is also a chart. You're not going to start, there's no long grammar here, just a chart, just figures for the whole year. Okay, the only thing I'll say here is that your expenses are separated into two: operational expenses and capital. Operational are like the things on your planned maintenance. Yes, regular. The things on your planned maintenance are operating or OPEX. Now, things that happen once in a while, but they need attention. For instance, part of the roof collapsed, this pump failed. Those are capex. Those are special expenses. So you can also project for them. The best way to do this is that the budget for last year, what a lot of people do, you use the budget for last year, you can just add maybe some percentage to allow for inflation, then now include some other things that came up. Do you understand? Your budget for last year is a springboard for what you're going to spend this year. Okay, so let's look at what the chart looks like. I think this is probably one of the easiest ones out of all of them. So you have your budgets, the rent, cost center, whether it's there's normally a code that the companies have for that. How much was spent in the previous months? For rent now, in Nigeria we pay rent yearly. So you find out from how much rent are they paying, not divided by 12.
The building is owned by the company.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's good. I think if the building is owned by the company and not rented, it is not going to come in here. I think you are going to have to leave that space blank. You leave that space blank. You leave that space blank since they are the owners of the building. So you just focus on the other expenses: electrical, plumbing, generators, swimming pool. Break it down monthly. If they tell you that we spend for a year, break it down by 12 and fill it in there. Lift maintenance, security, diesel. Then you sum it up for us. and give us the total at the bottom. So this one is very straightforward. But please try and use the templates as recommended. Okay. Then you can see the capex. Capex is for things that were not probably captured in the budget, but they have to do. It's always like something must always come up. Something will get damaged. As long as human beings are entering, something must get damaged. It's always, you understand.
These are given that things that you just have to replace them.
Things that need to be replaced. Yes. Yes. Probably they didn't really plan for them. What most people do is that when you have done your budget, they can calculate a percentage to keep aside for capex. Because the money must come from somewhere. So it's better to plan for it. So you're not running up and down. There's no emergency. So that's just basically what your project is about. So you look at the template very well and let us know if there's any. If you're having any challenges while you're working on it, let us know and we'll guide you through. All right, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, seriously was Seriously was trying to ask me something.
Oh, get this bro.
Was it because of this screen? Let's reduce it. Let's go back to that.
Emmanuel, my brother from
Who is your brother?
Emmanuel, my brother.
Who is your brother?
The only brother I have is Max-Migold.
Oh. You're from Aquarium.
What are you talking about? Back to sender.
I will speak for you.
Back to
The
sender.
mouth that says they will definitely bless you. That was.
You're going to look like something from far.
Sir, I don't know which you happen to Joel or which Joel they eat today. Italian people. Joel for everything.
Joel is not walking on himself.
No,
He's not able to sit at the corner. Today, Joel come to office.
yeah.
Which is so bad. No, see, Joel is the same.
No, you're supposed to.
She should have said, you know, the particular said, probably next class, but initially, right? What did you do? There's not a
This is how
solution.
that went for the next. It was after we came back.
You don't do I had
Just have
Sorry, ma'am. Please, there are a few questions online. One person was asking, please, does this mean the HSC audit will have both Excel and Word reporting?
Yes. 5 years. I don't obviously 10 years.
Are we done in class?